Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, this would be the 10 PM play by email game. So, we have a number of players in this game. I will give you the list of the players in the future. I don't have it on me at the moment, and I'm a little bit too lazy at the moment to get things prepared beforehand. So, you'll have to suffer for the time being, but I'll be able to get that up, don't worry. Now, I am playing as the Southern Soviet commander here, the overall commander in the south, which is going to present a lot of intriguing challenges. Now, I want to just establish where the actual border here is for the south. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my handy-dandy drawing tool, and should make it easy enough. I'll be able to show you then. Okay, so it's roughly, and I am saying this roughly, obviously give or take, obviously, with the actual geography zoomed out so much. But I have command of basically everything from round about here, I do believe. Actually, a little bit further south of command. So let's just redraw that. Okay. Yeah, so give or take, this is ours. So everything south of this line is roughly under my command. Of course, I am not the overall commander here, so I do have to work alongside the team, of course. But I'm more than happy with that. I feel we're going to learn a lot here. But it does present us some interesting challenges. As the commander of the Southern Front, we are going to be facing quite an onslaught, really. I mean, as you can see here already in the first turn, a great number of forces of the USSR have been encircled in the south. Now, what we need to do here is we actually need to transfer as many troops out of here to be saved and transferred to the centre and to the north, where they will be used to fight. The goal of the south here is, I suppose in some ways, to buy time. What I mean by that is we're not really planning on doing much actual fighting as such. I'm going to have to try and delay the Axis as much as I can do, with as little as I can manage, while obviously trying to save the forces that I can for a fight later on. Now, it's going to be rather intriguing. So, we'll get on with this then shortly, shall we? Okay. Now, I do have my new pop shield over here. Finally came today. Came a little bit late, so ideally everything does sound okay. I'm not used to actually talking into just the microphone as such, so I might be a little bit too loud. I'll move it away just a little bit more there. Might have to just get used to this. Okay. Right then, so of course we do have our forces over here. Let's take a look at what we've taken in terms of losses so far. So of course the losses here are going to be rather interesting. So in terms of actual losses then, 301,604 in this turn, 3,790 guns, 1,027 AFVs, 368 self-propelled and armoured cars. The Axis so far has only lost just under 11,000 men. 5,767 of those being permanent. Of course, the number of troops here killed permanently is 65,000 for the Soviet forces, which is obviously significantly higher, but we have had a great number of men captured, a great number of men disabled. They may one day return to battle, but that is going to take some time. Right then, so of course we do need to try and break this as much as possible. Hello there, Harmony. How you doing, my friends? Okay. Now, I have done a little bit of discussion with my fellows in the Discord server, and we do kind of have an idea of how to break the Rovno pocket. So we're going to go with that. Beyond that, really what happens is, I've got to stress this one enough. For the purposes of being fair, what actually happens is the result that we must and will take. There's no redoing anything, we must go with that result. So what we will do then is, I'm going to put in to Operation Operation Rovno. So what we need to do here then is we're going to move the 7th Motorized Division and the 80th Rifle Division. What we're doing here is trying to really restrict these German forces with our zone of control. And this is obviously going to make it more difficult for these German forces to then move afterwards. So, right then. So I do have the 40th. Yep, there we go. So we have the 40th Tank Division, which is going to move in over here, just into this tree line, which will break this pocket. And then what I can do here is I can move the 9th Mechanized Command. Now, the 9th Mechanized Corps is actually commanded by one of the greatest generals in the USSR, General Major Konstantin Rokossovsky. I can't say his name to save my life. I'll have to learn it. But he's a superb commander. And him being present does allow a certain degree of success. Now, what we will do here, then, is I'm going to use one of the administration points that we've been given. I have around about 3 administration points I've been given leave to use, which is going to be rather interesting. I don't think I really need them. But what we need to do, obviously, is try and force this Panzer Brigade back. If we force this Panzer Brigade back over here, so roughly what we want to happen is we want this to move over to here, and then we need to move this to the south here. If we manage that, we can have our cavalry breakout here. So we'll give that a go. Rokossovsky. It's cool, thank you. Hello there, Major, by the way. I'm sure you guys have come to the conclusion I'm really bad at pronunciating, and it's only ever going to get worse. It doesn't get any better from here. Okay, so I'm going to take the 20th Tank Division. Right, we'll move them here. Okay. Now, this isn't the greatest result. I was hoping for that CV value to have dropped there. So at the moment, it is still, yeah, still 6. So I was hoping for that to have dropped to about 5. But we'll have to hope for the best. More than likely, this isn't going to work. Rokossovsky? Rokossovsky. You know what? How about you guys just learn to speak English? Oh dear. How's the microphone sound, by the way? You just started a Soviet campaign yourself, and that's pretty fantastic there, Alexander. I like that name. Right then, so we'll move the 35th Tank Division. Now, we roughly have 20 combat value here. Which, yeah, okay. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the 135th Rifle Division. I'm going to move them up over here. The reason I'm doing this, we have a number of players. I will give you some names. One of the names is Marauder PL. He is a fellow YouTuber. You can find a lot of his One of the East on YouTube, obviously, if you type in that name, so Marauder PL. That's good. Volume's good. Fantastic. Yeah, the other players I will leave a... Yeah, I'll have to get their names. I can only apologise. I should have had it ready beforehand, but you know, I was rather excited. And, yeah. I'm trying to get the turn done tonight, and then at least they can have it, and we can move the game on. Okay, so with the 135th Division moved here, we now have the capability to move the 9th Mechanized Corps up here. What I'm hoping for is that we can actually have some assigned artillery aid in the battle. That would be rather fortunate. Hello there, Diligent Gravy. How you doing, my friend? I have as well. I would really like to play by email at some point, play it on hard. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. Sup there, Snowwolf. How you doing, my friend? Okay. So, I mean, the situation on a whole is rather intriguing. We do obviously have these forces cut off by the Axis, of course, over here as well. Yeah. Looks like Minsk should be able to hold out there pretty well. Yeah, the Axis have taken Riga. That's pretty well done there. Okay. So, we have to try and do our best here in the south. Try to really cause some issues for the Axis forces. Now, I'm really worried about this not actually working. I would like it to work, but I don't think it will do. The issue is the fact that I was hoping this would drop, but their CV value has in fact not dropped. Yeah, that does leave me in quite a conundrum. I may have the opportunity here to use this rifle division. They may be able to join the attack. So on the off chance that they can join the attack, I may move them. You wouldn't really have the MP. You could move here. You are ready. You're in reserve. You are definitely... Yeah, you do have some decent CV value. You may be useful. Well, what we're trying to do here is if this plan works out, we will breach the Axis line over here. We will be able to break these forces out. There is a possibility of breaking the pocket in the south as well, but that one is going to be significantly less likely to happen. Yeah, it is quite a large push. I mean, they've managed to take Riga over here and then across the river. So the Axis forces are doing very well in the north. As for information there, we don't have a huge amount. Also, what I do have to point out is that, obviously, as this is a play-by-email scenario game, that if, obviously, viewers do not give any of the players any information, that'd be brilliant. I have pre-warned the Axis players that I will be streaming, and they've agreed. Well, they will agree to, obviously, not view this. So we're just trying to keep things as fair as possible, really. I know that goes without saying, but, you know, it's always better to say it and just make sure people know. Right, so I'm going to attempt to move the 228th Rifle Division over here. I think at the end of the day, I'd rather have all three of those divisions attack. I'm only going to be able to manage a hasty attack here, but I'd feel rather more confident with increased force. Okay. Now, everything really does rest on this. If this works, then that's going to be brilliant. If not, it's going to be rather... yeah. Troublesome, but we'll just have to take it as it comes. I'm going to assign some howitzers over here, just on the off chance that they can actually join into the battle as well. Just give it a little bit of extra artillery. Yep, that's fine. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have the 34th Tank Division, the 35th Tank Division, we have the 228th Rifle Division. Now, both of these forces are attached to the 9th Mechanized Corps. This one is not, it's attached to the 36th Rifle Corps. Now, the 36th is... yeah, it's over here. Obviously, these forces are cut off and quite distant from their command. Now, I'm going to put off delaying this attack and just bloody pray that it works. So I want you guys on the count of 3 to say, yes, please let it work. I need you to give you my... I need your key. I need your key. Give me your key. Give me your energy. No carrier hunting house rules this time. Indeedy. I'm still waiting on the turn from THG. I don't think it'll be too long, but it'll be ready when it's ready. Ah, boy. Okay. Let's hope for the best then, eh? Let's hope for the best. Huh. Okay, well, thank God that worked. I'm not going to lie, there was a big chance that could have failed. And we actually achieved some decent results there. So it was only a brigade of the 16th Panzer Division. Hoorah! Hoorah! You know, I need to find have something to actually say. I'm so used to playing the Germans here that I'm really tempted to say Panzer Division, and it's really hard not to say Panzer Division. Hello there, Roman. How you doing? Zauradina. Right, so we actually were able to successfully beat the 16th, well, a brigade of the 16th Panzer Division back. So that was quite nice. Now, we actually did manage to do some damage here. So the brigade there lost 5... well, they lost 3 armoured fighting vehicles and 5 were damaged. They actually did lose a few men. I mean, our losses were pretty grievous. I mean, seeing that we've lost 125 armoured fighting vehicles, 50 of them were damaged. And this is the issue. We are playing against Axis forces on normal difficulty here, so there's no bullshit that you see in the impossible difficulty. But I'm extremely happy about this. This really did go very nicely. It seems that we received either the additional artillery from the actual corps, though I'm not entirely sure about that one, or from the actual infantry division that we did send over here, the 228th. But either way, we got the result that we actually really did want. Yeah, I'd say the actual artillery came from over here. What is the Russian word for tank? You know what, I've no bloody clue. I don't know, do they really have their own word? Good question, really, isn't it? Let's quickly Googling that now. Back. Yeah, okay. It doesn't really particularly work too well when you try to figure out what it is in Russian. Okay. In NATO terms, that should be a regiment, but yes, probably more a brigade. I mean, 5,000 men. I mean, I suppose a brigade. I'd think a brigade's more like 3,000 men. So I suppose I could call that like potentially a regiment. I don't know. We'll, I'm sure we'll be able to decide. Tankovi is a Russian word for tank. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this is one of the things, isn't it? I mean, tank, wasn't tank originally... I suppose tank's like an English designation, isn't it? So, it's one of these, isn't it? But we'll see, we'll see. Okay, so... that's been successful, which is really important. Now, what we must do is we must take our forces over here. And you know what? I realise what I've done now. I bugged myself. Yeah, I buggered myself, yeah. Fuck. Yeah. Okay. I just realised what I was meant to use that for. Bloody hell. Okay. Yes, I would have needed that division there. Ah, fuck. Okay. Move you there. Yeah, we might have just made things impossible to actually break this here, in this area. We'll take a look. I'm half tempted to move the 34th here just to actually have another shot. Yeah, okay. Should not have moved that division. Let's see. Right. Okay, so I'm listening on and off because I'm working, so it may have been asked. Display by email, how many people in it? Ever considered doing one with your Patreon backers? Yeah, I mean, if people would like to actually do one as like a Patreon game, that'd be really pretty cool. As far as it goes with players, I think there's like at least 4 Axis players. I'm not entirely sure how many players there are in total. I think we might have 4 or 5 on each team. Obviously, I'll have to double check that. Well, I bugged myself here because really what I needed was that infantry division to move down here to really give us a chance to actually push this away. I mean, this plan was worked out by one of my colleagues, so I'm sure he'll be happy. I mean, I was hoping... Oh, God, I might have actually gone overkill there. I don't know, guys. We might still have a chance here. I have to take the results as they come anyway. I mean, there's always the opportunity here that we attack with the 34th Division, but we'll give this a go then. I just really do want it to work. So your headquarters, yep, is there. Okay. I've got to really pray here. We need this out of the way, so the cavalry could march down here and actually break the pocket. I'm not too confident that 7 CV could do this. I'm half tempted to actually use the cavalry and potentially the tanks here. But I guess we'll have to see how it turns out. I've bloody set myself up here right on. Right, so this one I need to move out of the way. This needs to move to the south. The bad thing you get here is your command structure is the south is worse at the start than AGS to start with. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much all over. There's so many different armies and military districts. It's incredible, really. Okay, we'll give this a go. Yeah, I've scouted. Really not the result I wanted there. So, yeah, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so before we attempt this, I do have to save this division. I've been asked to save them. So we'll have to move them just to the rear here. I'll put them on the rail line, so they're able to be moved out via rail. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attempt to use the forces of the 2nd Mechanized Corps to break this. So I'm going to move my NKVD border regiment here. Then what we'll do is we're going to move our armoured forces here. Okay, we'll move across the border. Okay, this unit may not be broken down. Right, they were interdicted. Okay, we'll move our headquarters up over here. No. Yeah, okay. Yep. So there's no chance that they could do a planned attack. So there's a very small chance here that we could break it in the south. I really do bloody hope it works. And it doesn't. Fuck. Yeah, scouted. Yeah, okay. Hello there, Noah Hauser. How you doing, my friend? There's a few players. It's either... It's possibly 3, 4, or 5 on each team. I'll check afterwards, don't worry about this. Okay, so that's not going well. I'm bugged myself, but actually, taking the wrong unit here. I should have taken this division over here in the north. We'll see how things go. I mean, this division here, the 124th, may be able to attack alongside the infantry. Sorry, the cavalry. Yeah. Okay. Seven news interviews later. That sounds pretty awesome, mate. Right. I'm really annoyed about this. I really should not have done that. Ah, the Jedi are gonna feel that one. That was a silly move. Silly, silly move. But then again, I guess it's like if this hadn't worked, this wouldn't have worked anyway. So, takes it as it comes. Right, you do have another chance here. Right, they hold. Yeah, I mean, that's the issue. We really wanted to have an advantage there. Had I not moved that other division, we might have been able to do it. I mean, this is it. I'm talking about things as if they're, like, guaranteed, but they're really not. So, I mean, the thing is, do I attempt to use these forces? The cavalry could pull off a full attack. Then attach the 5th Cavalry Corps, which is over here. Thank you very much there, Black Mesa. Get paid, get laid, Gatorade. I like that. I do like that. Okay. Right. I like that as a good battle cry. What do you guys reckon then? I mean, I'd need to have enough MP to move over here, but the thing is, I could even move the 34th Tank Division. I'm thinking perhaps we use the cavalry. I mean, let's see. I don't think the cavalry on their own could manage it, but if they attack on their own, they do gain the benefit of a planned attack. They do have twice the CV, but that's not enough. I think if we do that, we'd only have a hasty attack. Thank you very much, Snowwolf. Get woke, GoPro. I just meant that. I like that. Okay. What do you guys reckon? Do we attack with a hasty attack with 8 combat value? Or do we attack with a planned attack with 6 combat value? The Axis forces here only have about 3 defensive CV, but of course it does, yeah, it's definitely not. Well, these units are more or less doomed. What we need to do here is just try and break the pocket. The reason would be I'd like to try and actually save these headquarters. God damn it, Diligent. Here's my contributions via KV2. Thank you so very much, man. I mean, considering you bloody donated, what, 20 Canadian dollars the other day? That's a really... I don't know how you guys have this disposable income, but I really do thank you so very much. That does mean a lot, mate. I appreciate it. We're gonna do it now. Fuck me, if I had KV2, I'd fucking drive that thing all over. That'd be amazing. Okay. Ah. I think we'll go with the 8 CV. I think that's probably a better idea than just going with, like... Yeah. So the thing is, I can't move these units out of this pocket. What I need to do is I need to get this hex. If I can get this hex, then we can make things work. If we don't get that, then yeah. Okay, we can't really break anything out over here. That's the issue. I mean, there's always a possibility that I could take this, but I don't have the actual movement due to these zone of controls here. And the Axis forces have bloody moved in... God damn it, Snowwolf. Payday loans, my man, that's how I fought it. That's amazing. I like that. Thank you very much there, Snowwolf, again, once more. Thank you. Damn, you guys make me humble, don't you? Don't envelop turned partisans. Well, it depends on how many of those forces are basically able to survive. So, for example, let's say that we have 20,000 men. God damn it, Black Mesa. Big money, big women, big fun. Are you guys just doing it just because you want me to say that? I like it though. Big money, big women, and big fun. Thank you so very much for that, guys. Okay. I'm gonna go with the hasty attack. I think it might be worth it. It may work. But it's very likely not to. So, here we go. Yeah, donation war between me and Black Mesa. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Alright. Ah, please. Yes! Ah, yes! Yes! Ah, I didn't fuck up. Ah, fuck yeah. Ah, ha, ha, ho! Ah! Ah, you don't know how much that actually means. Ah, God. Okay, I'm going to move the mic a little bit further away because I'm like getting a bit loud here. I afford this through selling my body. I would agree. You know what? I saw a advert on Facebook and it was like blood donation and quote-unquote other liquid donations. And it's like, you know what, man? It's like... That's not a bad idea, is it? I'm not going to sell blood, but I would consider selling other liquids. It's like, at the end of the day, like, cash is cash. And... yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it, I'll sell some bone marrow. I've heard that's painless. Okay. Yeah, I didn't either. I really didn't think it was going to work, but that is really a beautiful result, and I feel so emotional right now. Okay, so we've actually managed to break the pocket here. The attack here in the south didn't work, sadly, but we have managed to break this. So that is incredibly important. It means I haven't quite fucked up. So I'm quite happy about that. Cut the supply lines as best as you could. Like, cut the line near the... Yeah, definitely. The Germans here are in a good position. At the end of the day, they've only just moved here. So they managed to cut off our forces. They do have a lot of fuel, and they have a lot of, well, requirements already. So them being cut off isn't going to make the... Well, they're not even cut off. The fact is, if I'd have been able to cut them off at the south, had the plan worked, then that would have been amazing. But we aren't that lucky. Yes, I need to save the 164th. But the main thing is now, I've actually been able to break open the pocket. So that means that we can actually rescue some of our headquarters, rather than see them destroyed, or at least captured. Which is very, very important. It also means that our forces here are going to be more tenacious in their attempts to survive. So for example, what I could do here is I could potentially move these forces up over here, like the 34th Tank Division could be moved here, for example. Or I could move them potentially here. It's like at the end of the day, I could bully the 16th Panzer Regiment, but I don't think that'd be worthwhile. So I think what we'll do here then is, let's see. Even so, those units cut off won't have as much move next turn. Yeah. I mean, they are drawing supply, but it's going to be a more limited amount of supply. Like, for example, I could move this force over here, the 60th Mountain. Push them back to the mountains, indeed. Yeah, definitely. I mean, what we need to do is we need to need to be as tenacious as we can here. I do have a little bit of a document from the other players. This is from Marauder PL. Again, check him out. As we have some advice here. So this goes over really the actual plans here. In the south, we want a fully defensive position will look a bit like this. So kind of a concave with units pulled back close to the marchers in the north and close to the desks in the south. The actual placement of units on the screen is prime. It's easier for the Germans to encircle all of the southern front. Don't put stray units just like in the middle of nowhere, like Benizia. They will be gobbled up. If we're running east, not enough. If running east is not enough, go north or south instead. German tanks will have 50 MP, so some of them can travel 25 hexes. That's a lot. Count them and see what their range is. We want to rail as much as we can from the south to the north center infantry divisions, take like 1 to 1.5k rail capacity tanks. Mechanized take much more. So it's more fortuitous to rail infantry and walk drive the rest. Okay. So this is roughly what we're going to be going for, is this sort of concave. But obviously we have free reign in how we achieve that, more or less. Yes, those are some extreme paint skills. God damn it, Snowwolf. You need some money for yourself, man. I don't want a face reveal, I want an arse reveal. You know what, my face is an arse, so... Double points? Too good for all there, really. Okay. Thank you very much for that, Snowwolf, you goddamn saint. I do appreciate it. I know it sounds like an asshole thing, but I do appreciate it. Right, so what we're going to do here then is... I would like to actually save the 34th. Would we... I don't want to really be going in here. At the end of the day, I don't want to fight here. I can't really fight. We need to try and save what we can. I just want to hear him say it. Say my name, say my name. Right. Okay. I think what we'll do here then is we'll move these forces first before we move these men. What we'll want to do here then is either take up defensive positions that are going to make it more difficult for the Axis. Or, well really I need to try and inhibit their movement. So moving here isn't going to make much of a difference. At the end of the day, I want to be moving into this area. The city of Lvov is, well, Lvov is basically doomed. So what we need to do is ideally move. God damn it, guys. Thank you very much. Been asking for an 8-pack. I can open an 8-pack. I don't have one. Right. So we have some important headquarters here. We do have the 26th Army. Now they can make it to here. The issue is they can't just run out. They're not far. See, I do wonder. Let's see. If I take the 34th Tank Division here. Now, they won't have enough MP to actually break this force here. But it might be more worthwhile. Right. Okay. See, the thing is, I don't really have the opportunity to cut off any other units. Like, it would be nice to actually hurt the 10th Motorized Division by cutting them off, but at the end of the day, it's not going to do us any favours, is it? So what we need to do here, then, is either move the 34th here, or the 34th here, and attempt an attack. Now, they have 8 combat value. Sorry, they have, yeah, they have 8 combat value. No, I mean, Canadian dollars are still, yeah, they're still good. I mean, that'd actually buy me a couple points where I live. To be fair, that could, yeah. See, from my days at the pub trade, like, let's say, what did I use to buy a barrel of Foster's? So I'd buy a barrel of Foster's in the day for about £104, give or take, and that was a 15-litre barrel of Foster's. I do my pints at about $2.90. 20 Canadian dollars roughly works out at just over £10, give or take. So in reality, you probably get about 3-4 pints out of that, which is pretty decent, man, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I'm doing a lot of chatting here without too much in the way of action, but the reason for that is, frankly, I want to try and think of how we can best do this. I could move here into the open plains, And that has some benefits in the fact of it would inhibit their zone of control. Well, it would actually project a zone of control and inhibit their movement. But it's not really going to win us any particular time. I suppose at the end of the day, they are going to crumple next turn pretty much no matter what. So it might be that we just try to inhibit their movement. That might be the way to go. So for example, I think what I'll do here then is we'll move the 72nd Mounted Division over here. Notice they've been interdicted. The Axis did lose a bomber there, so that's quite nice. I mean, there's a lot to be said for actually moving over here and actually trying to damage their rail lines. It might not make a big difference, but that unit... Then again, what are they going to do? Like, how could they make more of a difference? They could move... I think what we need to do is really try to make it more difficult for them. Yeah. So I think we move to like urban positions, like forested positions. I think as long as we force the Axis to actually take time here, I think that's going to be worth it. Now, what I'll do here is let's just get our division's commanders out here, first and foremost. I think what I'd like to do here is disband these two larger... Yeah, we have a couple nice tank divisions in here, which is pretty decent. Now, I've been given about 3 admin points, so I'll probably do is just, like, disband these decent forces. Well, these actual forces here. And destroying rail lines work for the Soviets in real life? Yeah, that's very true. Okay. See, there's nothing real to be gained terribly much from the rail lines from Hungary. Now, considering that no supply is actually going to be travelling this way anyway, it's not really worth it as much. If I was able to somehow get into here, that'd be worth something. Okay. I mean, I could try and get these air bases out. And the beauty is that, at least at the end of the day, they'll have a chance to actually try and route out here or be forced out here, which is worth it. I mean, the issue is I could try and threaten this envelopment, but we really don't have the movement for that. I just can't make it to this town, really, no matter what I do. Okay, I can't say anything has really changed in Ontario. The shortage. Okay. Force them to repair the tracks. That is true, it's just the amount of supply is coming through here rather than elsewhere. Yeah, that's a true fair. Okay. So what I'm going to do then is we'll attempt to get our divisions out. I'm going to actually take a look at these God, I almost said panzer divisions. I'm going to take a look at these actual divisions here and really work out which ones I'm going to disband. We're disbanding them, so basically we actually get these elements back, ideally within the system. So we do have a number of KV-1s here. We do have a large number of T-34s. We obviously do have some flame tanks, as noted. So let's look for the best. I'm going to look for the total amount of vehicles. So 443 over here, 351 over here. Now, I can't do terribly much there. 405. Yeah, these are massive numbers. If the Panzer divisions had these numbers, yeah, we'd be in a much worse position. Okay. What I'll do then is I'm going to... hello there, Pierre. Greetings from the continent. Okay. So I'm going to disband these divisions that can't run as far, I think. Now I'll just go by the numbers. I think I'll disband the 10th Tank Division. Actually, I don't think I have that option. I don't think I have the option with units within the pocket. No, it seems not. Okay. This is indeed a new project. This is a project I'm participating in. So I am commanding the Soviet Southern Front from basically just below this point of command. And we do have additional commanders. I'm playing alongside Marauder. Actually, what I'll do here is I'll just go into the Discord and I can get the names up here. So, in a momento. So, on the Soviet side, we have Kanti. We have Elgarvox, Marauder, Stewart, and Zaha. I think those are the actual players. Now, I'm not entirely sure of the players on the Axis side. From what I can understand here, we do have Sparkle Tits, S2 Tanker, El Lobo, Loco. Those are the names I can see here at least. Okay. Right. So, those are the names I can see here. Let's look at this. Yeah, Katusha's would be quite nice. Right. So we'll move them as we can then. I think what we'll do here then is I'll move the headquarters out first and foremost. I'll move the higher level headquarters. That's probably a better way to do things. So these guys can't just walk out as of yet. But we'll move them here. Hello there, my friend. Indeed. And we have our star here. We have the Commander of the 9th Mechanized with us. Speaking of the Commander of the 9th Mechanized, I'm going to actually move him the heck out of here. There we go. Yeah, Sparkle Tits. Amazing name, I know, right? Right, yeah. Now, I do wonder if I move the 34th here. Do we have... Let's see, I wonder if I move here. It doesn't buy me anything extra. What I'm looking to do here is really try and maximize the impact on their zone of control. Well, project our own zone of control here, I should say. I can get this airfield out of here, so at least that's something saved. It's nothing really important, is it? But at least it's something. No, I can't break this unit down. I mean, the thing is, we do have 154 vehicles here. Now, that's only a brigade. So it's not going to do exactly... Well, it's not going to do very much, is it? So what I might do then is... So these rails will obviously be cut. Now this is the beauty of having interior lines, is the fact that we have supply moving to these pockets now. Obviously this pocket is now going to receive supply. This one obviously isn't due to the distance from the railhead, but yeah, had we been able to break through here, might have actually received some supply. But, oh well, at least we've opened it now. So at least these units will definitely have a, they'll have a chance to resist for some time longer now, which is going to be worthwhile. So I think what we'll do here then is we might just potentially move here just to this pocket. Well, then again, I might just try and increase my strength in this area. I don't think the divisions will have... Well, the brigade won't have much of an impact with its zone of control because it doesn't really project much of one. There's a part of me that says maybe move there. I mean, obviously that division is doomed, so would it be worthwhile to do that? I don't think it'd really... Yeah, I think they'd just destroy it pretty much immediately, so I don't think it'd really do terribly much. Indeed. Is the name of the game going to be Unit Preservation? It is in the south. What we're doing here is really in the south, is we're trying to save what we can. What we save will be sent towards the north and to the centre, where the real battle is going to be fought. At least in the early years. Well, in the early years, I suppose. The early months. In the future, we obviously will have strength of our own to begin to persecute a campaign here. But for now, we are not the one fighting. We are really the ones trying to save what is available to us here. So we'll try and do that. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty much about delaying. We're trying to really prevent the Axis forces from capturing rather important positions. And if we could prevent them from taking... I mean, obviously preventing them from taking Moscow would be quite nice, but if we could prevent them from taking Vyazma, that would be quite nice. Or Vyazma. I mean, Smolensk, I don't know. I think that's probably going to fall due to the actual distance here. I don't think there's enough distance or time really to save Smolensk, but other cities perhaps. But yeah, as Neuhauser says here, it's really about buying time until winter. So let's go about doing that. There's a lot here, and I don't speak Arabic, so I'm not entirely sure what that says, but thank you very much, I think. Yeah. Don't know what that says. Bum 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 bum. Okay. So I've been very lucky here. This could have easily worked out where we wouldn't have actually made any progress here, or had anything go well for us, due to the fact that we might not have even broken this open. So I'm happy that that has worked out. It did very luckily work out. Set up defenses into the Crimea, hide behind rivers cry, pretty much. Now, how do we want to impact on that movement? I could move to this position here. The rough terrain and the town would be very nice. So if we take a look at our unit's defensive combat value, so notice they have 8 over here. What I'm going to do then is, I'm going to move them over here then, I guess. Yes, right, now take a look at that. They have 16 defensive value over here. I mean, what I could do then is, I'll move these artillery brigade. Okay, so it doesn't really increase it by very much, but if I have other units that can't really move anywhere, it may be worth it just to move to that position. Why not pull back units towards Lvov in the west and try to set out a breakout? Well, the thing is, it's like, there's not going to be a possibility of a breakout in the following turn. On, like, normal difficulty, the Axis will completely, yeah, there won't be any stopping this. To be honest, if I'd been able to actually secure this and actually cut these forces off, we might have had a chance of actually gaining some time. We've bought ourselves a little bit of time, but not a huge amount. But the Axis forces will basically dissolve our men here pretty quickly. There's not going to be much chance to stop them. So really, we're either trying to spread our forces out to actually screw up their zone of control as much as possible. Well, to screw up their movements as much as possible. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we need to just move south. If we don't move, move east. If I don't move east, these units will be doomed anyway. Yeah. And this is the thing, I've got to play alongside my fellows as well. So the group, the team has decided that we need to move these units out of here. So I'm going to take that advice. It's good, don't get me wrong. Okay, don't forget the deep battle doctrine. It can be applied to defense too. Yeah. Yep, that's very true. Okay. So, that unit's destroyed. Well, it's going to be destroyed, but at least the 35th could at least actually... Could you be disbanded? No, okay. I guess it's units that weren't cut off. But at least we do have a solid position over here on the hill at Dubno. I mean, at least that does present a... It's not gonna fall easily. It is gonna fall, but it's not gonna fall over, like, immediately, which is quite nice. So just spread our units out over here as we can. Okay. I just wish I could get you out. Right. We'll see what we can do here. Right, have you move that way. At least that's obviously going to move to a hill. Yeah. So you can see on these actual hills, they do gain some pretty good defensive value. You could be moved over here, where you might be able to escape then afterwards. So this is actually quite nice. At least we actually gain... well, we can try to evacuate these headquarters, which is quite nice. Yeah, 12th Army as well. Right, 12th Army can make it out. 16th Mechanized can make it out. Brilliant. Now what we'll try to do here is probably... I suppose the question is, do we try to inhibit the movement on the Romanian border? Or do we try to inhibit it by moving a little bit further inland? It's like I do have... well, into the Ukraine. I do have positions like over here in the hill... well, these rough terrain hexes, which are very nice. Could try to do that. Oh, right. Yeah, you hold your position there. I'm going to... well, it depends really. I could have them move into the city. I'll have them move into the city. I mean, they're more or less doomed. So having them move there is probably going to do more good. I could have the armoured move up over this way. It's a shame, really, I can't do much about this. Let's see, if I take that position here, does that give the 15th Division... No, they can't move there. Okay. I'll move you here to this rough terrain. Notice they gained a pretty formidable defensive combat value there. So, this is what we want. Whether they have that in the following turn is unknown, but at least they'll be in a position where they could try to attempt to resist. I think the more troops you tie up in the rear, and the more you try to slow down the panzers, the better. Yeah. And that's what I'm going to try to do, is really move forces to make it difficult for these panzers. Okay. Ah, right, they can't move there. Yeah. Can you have your commanders executed in the game? No, but they'll probably die anyway. Being too conservative means that the Germans will probably win. Basically, he's got to throttle the engagement just enough to split casualties and cause delays while avoiding complete disruption. That's true. But I mean, the thing is here, we are playing against actual they're pretty formidable players. And, yeah. It's going to be difficult. The random weather is activated, and we do have a advantage of, like, we gain extra attack power, plus 1 Soviet attack. But yeah, the Axis aren't going to suffer any issues, really, with their mobility. Or logistics. More so than they normally would expect. That's a lot of forces there. Seems he's moving just as a contiguous group. Yeah, I mean, we'll try to do what we can. I'm trying to go by what I think is best, but obviously sticking with what the group has agreed. But we'll do what we can. I'm going to say there's about 10. It's either 8 or 10 players. I'm going to go for something around that. That's going to be my guess. Hello there. How you doing, my friend? It's good to bloody see you. Right, I could move there, but I think what I'll do here is I'll move... I'll move you on top of the actual rough terrain here. Okay, I think what I'll do here then is just a moment. I'll just message the Discord and I can ask people for a link to the actual... the AAR. Okay, if I can get that, I'll send you that over. Okay, so we do have a pretty good strong position there, so at least that is going to be somewhat difficult for the Axis forces to, well, clean up. What I'm going to do here is, we'll see about moving the 4th Mechanized. See, I'm building up a lot of force over here, so ideally some of these headquarters do make it out. Right. We'll move everything out, and then we'll move that tank division. Okay. So down the Germans are encircled troops fall back to defensive line with consolidated forces trying to avoid being encircled at all costs. That's pretty much the name of the game. Pretty much the name of the game there. Okay. Okay. We'll move these troops into this city. What we'll do with these ones then is we'll put them on rough terrain. Basically anywhere that we can do. I have the 26th Army over here as well. What I want to do is actually avoid having these guys stacked up so nobody can get out. Right, put you there for now. Okay. What I'll do is I'm going to put this division here. Yeah, we'll put you on top of the hill. We'll fortify the city. Right, well they can't do particularly much here. What I'll do then is just move back to that position. Okay. I'm basically looking for strong points. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move the 8th Tank Division. What I might do actually is, let's see, do you have any additional movement? Okay, no. I might have done better actually moving the Tank Divisions into this city. But we'll see. Right, I'm going to move the 212th there. No possibility of attack. Right, I'll move the cavalry here. So these forces are going to be hurting. At least their movement. They'll have to deal with the enemies around them. Of course, they'll have to deal with the Soviet forces around them, sorry. Which is going to obviously inhibit their movement to a great degree. Well, ideally a great degree. It's going to slow them down anyway. Which is definitely what we want. So these armoured forces, I'm going to move into the actual city here. So that does make the city fairly defensible. At least for this time. Right, then I'm going to go and do is move them over here to this, and again. I'll move you here. The reason for that is so they don't have that ease of movement. Move you there. Okay. So I could move you into a clear town. There's always a possibility to move there, which I suppose would be a pain in the arse. I mean, it could be rather difficult for them. I mean, obviously we do have the light woods. We only have the town here. It is across a river, so they would have to attack it from this side, or if they attack it from this side, they are going to obviously receive a penalty. Then again, moving this way might be worthwhile. So yeah, I'm going to move them actually... Actually, I'll move these guys first and see what we can manage. Ooh, that's actually rather attractive. Hmm. That's intriguing. It's not possible to do anything here. But if we take a look, I mean, obviously I can't do much there, but if we can actually reduce the hexes that they have under their control, that's actually going to make it very difficult for them to receive supply. Yeah, so I have an opportunity here to reduce that down to just 2 hexes, which is actually worthwhile. So let's see. I do have the 19th Tank Division. I'm going to move them here. Now, obviously that force is pretty damn difficult to deal with, but we do have this. Now, if I move you here, or rather, if I move the 41st to this position, okay, now I can move the 45th Rifle in here. Then what I'll do is move the 87th here. The 62nd. Well, those aren't under my command. Or technically they are under my command. Let's just take a look at the embarkation line. Well, the actual line here dictating my command. I guess Brest would be just... Okay. Okay, how about you just zoom? Okay. So, 2 hexes south of Gumel. Well, technically 3 hexes. I'll say 3 hexes then. So this rail line here. We shall not name... It's a good job because I'm bloody not saying it. Okay. So it would be potentially that hex. No. This one here. Yeah, okay. Just that's the swamp. Okay, so this is 70. So why 70? Why 69? Why 68? Why 70? Okay, yeah, so that's not actually under my command. That actually comes under the command of Soviet Center. So no, I actually do not touch that, as far as I know. I'll leave those units anyway, just in case. At the end of the day, there's going to obviously be somebody to take a look at the save afterwards, so they'll be able to fix any issues like that. So if we take a look over here then. So if I move you here, that does reduce their, like, control. That's actually quite good, you know. I'm actually very happy about that. Let's see. Now, you could move here. And you do have an opportunity to actually just put a little bit more pressure on these units. Yeah, kinda. But then again, I suppose you're not going to be able to manage much here. Yeah. Now, they're obviously still going to receive supply. But the thing is, their supply is really going to be constricted. It's like, you ideally want at least 3 hexes to push supply through. So that's actually quite nice. That's actually going to make it a little bit more difficult for their forces. And considering, yeah, okay, that's actually going to ideally slow them down somewhat. Okay, let's get the headquarters out that we can. Okay, you can actually get out of here. Fantastic. You can't, but you're not far off. Yes, you can get out. There's a lot of headquarters here. Yep, you can definitely get out. Right, superb. Superb. The super. So we have here mountains, a mountain town. I mean, the thing is you only have, like... Actually, no, you have... Yeah, you just have the 1 combat value there. It's not a huge amount, is it really? Actually, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, actually, no, you have 6 combat value there. That's not too bad. We'll be in Berlin by Christmas. We'll see about that one. Actually, no, I think I might have been taking... Actually, I'm not entirely sure, you know. I'm going to assume that's probably the combat value there, defensive value there, 51. Yeah, okay, whoops, just hit the wrong thing. So I'm going to say, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Right. I think we'll leave them in that position. Or maybe we move them there. I think we'll move them there. Let's see. There's so many headquarters I need to get out of here. Right. I'm going to move these forces here. It is going to help slow them down. Right, we do have the rough terrain. I could move them into the city. Right. I need to try and inhibit movement around here. It's not going to do too much against the Romanians. So what I'll do then is I'll move these forces here. At least that's going to actually stack up the combat value there a little bit more. I do have these forces, which I'll move over this way. Then what I'll do is... I'll take the Mountain Division, move them over to Stanislav. Yeah, you can't move too far. So I might as well leave you in the city, at least you'll have a better chance of putting up a fight. Move your headquarters out. Okay. I'll move you here, and then at least you actually have an opportunity to block movement somewhat. Yeah. You could move it a little bit, so that's nice. What I'll do then is I'll move you here. Okay. Yeah, the Hardline 3 and the Hardline 2 soundtrack are just fantastic. Yeah, some really, really good tracks in there. Okay, so we need to move forces out. So what I'm going to do here then is, let's see, where do we want to move them to? Let's take this over here. Is there any advice on where they should go? Right. Okay. Okay. Rightio. What we'll do then is, I'm going to save divisions as I can, so we'll look at saving the best first. Well, that's a fairly decent division, I suppose. Mountain division as well, so that could come in quite handy. Okay. So I just need to get them onto the rail and get them the hell out of Dodge. So, move them there. I mean, it depends really on their capability to escape. So yeah, you can move. You could move there, which isn't that particularly far. So what I'd want to do is actually move them to the north here. At least they would have a better chance of surviving out this way. So I have about 45,000 rail capacity to use, roughly. I think what I'd like to do is probably save some of that and give it, well, to the overall commanders to obviously make use of, if I can. Have you started to move industries too? That isn't my prerogative. So I can only really have this south here. I'm moving movements at the moment. I'm not entirely sure if they're moving industries at this moment. They might have done, but I don't know about that one at this time. So we'll move our first unit here, the 164th. And I'll have them start heading towards the north here. Move them on the rail line. There we go. Now we're only going to move infantry via rail. So how much did that just bloody cost us? Did we just have 75,000 rail and... yeah, let's see. Actually, I'll go back and then I can take a look. Right, so 74,250. 74,250. Transport cost is 1,892. That takes us down to 72,358, if that's correct. Move them here. Wow, they're interdicted a few times. Bloody hell. That's some pretty far range in there. 72,358, yep, that's correct. Okay, at least we can keep a track on this then. That's good news. Now, these forces, the infantry could march not too particularly far. So I think what we'll do then is obviously, depends really. I mean, these guys aren't going to be held up too long, are they? So I think we're probably better off moving via rail to obviously gain that distance. It does really depend, because the panzers can move quite far. I don't think they'll have too much movement available to them, but it does depend. So we'll move things via rail, and yeah, that we can do. I mean, these forces are quite valuable. I mean, as the, if they can rail out or not is unknown. I mean, they could rail to there, so it's not even worth the effort, is it really? So I move them to defensible position, or at least a more defensible position. Let's see, can you move out? Now you can be saved. So I'll move you. This way. Now that was 1,817. There we go. At least with the second mechanized corps, we might be able to inhibit their movement somewhat. So I'm looking at 2,242. Yeah, 2,242. Which takes us down to 69,290. Yeah, it's not far off anyway. Now, what I can do here is I could potentially move these armored forces, and I could move them really to try and inhibit the movement of the German division somewhat. Or I could try and move them over here. That's probably a better idea. I don't think I can move them there, sadly. Okay. What I'll do then is I'll move them over here. And... or do I move them further to the rear? And they would move there. So it's a question really, isn't it? Like, where do I want to move them? How do I want to do this? Yeah. I think what I'll do there, just to make sure that we have at least the possibility to screw with their zone of control as much as possible there, but at least it might project more. Okay. Move you here. Well, that's probably safe. Possibly, really does depend. They might obviously catch that. But, we'll see. So, minus 1,725. Yep, okay. The infantry here can be saved. Yeah, they can move pretty far, actually. Very far. Bloody hell, they can move far. What I'll do then, just so they're not in the way, is I'll move them over here. And then at least the other commanders can move them where they need to. Because they can move pretty damn far. How much would cavalry cost to move? Not too terribly much. Though, might be just worthwhile. Yeah, I think we'll just save that, and then we'll march them if we have to. If we have the spare capacity, then I'll probably just rail them out. It's not too much more expensive, and it's not a terrible unit, I suppose, at the end of the day. Does depend. Does depend. I'm half tempted just to leave security units here at the NKVD. Just, so at least that they actually present some obstacle. I think at least in that fashion, it will do some good. Yeah, that long-range interdiction is pretty, like, impressive. Okay. Well, the 130th is looking pretty good. I think at the end of... Well, actually, is it worth it to move the 130th via rail or marched? I do still need to fight a fight in withdrawal. I can't just give up ground without any effort. So I suppose what we'll do here then is... let's see. So if we're assuming a Panzer Division can move at 25, I mean the thing is that like most of the Panzer Divisions are at least faced by something. Obviously they will have the additional Panzer Divisions. And from what I can see here, we have the 11th Panzer Division here. Obviously split up into regiments, but we have a few of them. This would be, I'm going to assume, the 14th Panzer division. So potentially 14th, 14th. Yeah, I'm aware of this being the 14th, so 14th. Is this the 14th over here? So I have two elements of the 13th Panzer Division. We have Das Reich SS Motorized. A element, we have two elements of Das Reich. The 13th Panzer Division. So there's a Panzer Division here. Where's the 14th? The 14th is probably around here somewhere. Possibly around here. As far as we know. Okay. Right. Are you going to conduct any counteroffensive before the winter hits? I mean, I'm not too sure on that one at the moment. We'll see how things go. We have a lot of units here to move, so I think what we'll do then is we'll start marching the armoured, so obviously the forces that we aren't going to be moving via rail. I think what I'll do here for the time being is establish a position a little bit like this, just across the river line. The purpose of which is so that we don't just give up all of our ground, but at least we do move back to such a point where we might be able to form a decent defensive line, or at least something approximating a defensive line. So I need to get you out of here, so we'll move you there. Alright, and we'll evacuate you. So I'll evacuate you to Kiev. Hmm. 18 follow me. Right, move you into the city. I think the thing is the Germans are probably going to move up to round about here, give or take. But I think what we need to do then is the forces that can't march or can't be moved via rail, is we'll move them into such a position where they can actually at least impede Axis mobility. At least in that way, that's going to slow them down. I suppose the thing here as well is they haven't got the perfect encirclement that they would have hoped for. So they're going to be held back by a number of units over here. So it's going to take them some time to move their infantry up. Their panzers are obviously over here. I mean, this is something I'd like to try and do. Like, if I hold the city of Rovno. I could hold the city, which might be worthwhile. And that's a fantastic division. Okay. I'm just going to move a few forces here. The reason I'm doing that is because, frankly, I'm obviously going to have to try and form some kind of defense. I'm going to need some units. Probably a safer method to move them into the marshes. Okay. So if I was to... yeah, I'm just thinking here. I'd probably be better off... Yeah, I don't want the motorized to have freedom of movement. I do have some security forces here. Right, so I'm going to move the NKVD here. Yeah. So, what I could do then is I could move here, and at least that's going to block the motorized. They're not going to have perfect movement. It's like, sure, I could move them that way, and they do stand a greater chance of surviving. But I think delaying is possibly the... Well, then again, is it really? It's like, am I really going to gain that much? There's not even a actual chance that I gain a huge amount of defensive CV. So what I'll do is actually I'll move them to the rear. I think that's probably a better idea. I'm going to move you here onto that town, across the river as well, so at least you do gain something to beat them back. Okay. I'll move this motorized division here. I think what I need to do then is just obviously have units spread out to some degree when I can't move them all, but into such a position where at least the Axis aren't going to have freedom of movement. At least anywhere near what they actually want to have. Yeah, I'll move you here. I'll move you across the river and into the light woods. Actually put you there so that you don't get driven away. Okay. Right. Let's have a think here. Okay. You could leave the AT brigades and the NKVD as fodder. Seems to work for me in holding the Axis up a little. At least make some waste in an attack, getting them out of the way. Yeah, that is true. I suppose what we'll do then is, we do have these actual fortified regions, which are quite nice. I was considering, do I move the 32nd Rifle Corps, for example, via rail to this area? Okay, what I'm going to say here then is we need to figure out just 3 defensive positions. I think that's probably the best. So I'll say it's probably this area here is where we need to defend. Somewhere around here. Possibly, yeah, just in this terrible terrain. And then this sort of area. I think that'll work out easier than just thinking like... we can't evacuate everything because at the end of the day I do need to have something to hold on. So what we're going to do then is I'm going to move... these forces over here. They're going to move to that town. If they can survive, that'd be brilliant. Okay. We're going to try to hold them up over here then. So I'm going to move these men to Zydemir. Okay, I do have this airborne brigade. So what I can do with these guys is I could just spread them out and just hold this position here roughly. But I think what I'll do is I'll actually take up positions in either the... Yeah, so like this. Have you here. Okay, we'll have our motorized and mechanized forces move this way. You can't move. That's a shame. Yeah, you really can't move. That's incredible. Right. I was hoping I could have disbanded you, but at least you'll be there to hold up some movement. Your sacrifice will be remembered. Leave you there. Okay. These guys, I can make it just move. What I'll do is that then. At least that might inhibit their movement a little. Okay, if I can fill this in, then I'll do that. Right, I'll hold them up over here. I think I'll save this cavalry. Probably, yeah. We'll send it over this way by Odessa. There we go. Yeah, try and just grab these towns on the opposite side of the riverbank, where the rail lines are going. Are you alone in Soviet South side? How are the reinforcements going to work? Sorry. Yeah, I have full control over the south, so everything south is mine. As far as it goes by reinforcements, it really does depend on what the team commander actually does decide to give me. So, until then, we'll see, really. I'm trying to evacuate really what I can, but I'm going to hold on to things that I deem necessary to actually form something of a defense here myself. At the end of the day, I can't do without some kind of defense. Actually, no, what? I think we'll focus on defending down this way. If I do this, it's like, yeah, it might actually help, but we already have that universe. It's not going to do much more. I'm going to try and hold on to that point there. Right. What I'll do is I'll move them. I'll move them over here to the town. At least in the town they'll have a better chance of surviving, so that's going to actually slow them down somewhat. Yeah, these guys aren't really ready. I'll move that tank division there. Okay. God knows what you command, so I'm going to move you over this way. Oh, you command forces all the way bloody over here? Jesus. Oh, right, yeah, we obviously did move them, didn't we? So at least we have forces over here. We have some forces across the river. We have some forces just outside of Odessa. Importantly, we are holding the crossing point there. Right. What I'll do here then is put a second force here. Move them both here. Move 9th Army here. Hello there, Paul. How you do, my friend? I was listening from another room. That's pretty awesome. It's good to see you, my friend. Okay. So, we don't have a whole lot. I suppose this is it. Approaching it from the Axis point of view, it's like it looks like the Soviets have like practically infinite numbers. But in reality, we don't have that many numbers. But at least we've been able to save the vast majority of the headquarters from the Lvov pocket. We haven't really been able to save any units, but we have put our forces into such a way that it will cause consternation for the Axis. Like, these guys are going to find it difficult to get this supply. They only have one hex to gain their supply from. So that's actually going to hurt them. They're not going to be cut off, but they are going to be on pretty much like beachhead supply more than likely. So their movement isn't going to be great. Now, there's a mass of troops over here that these forces have to move through, which is going to hurt them. Now, this guy is going to move fine. This one's going to suffer a little bit. And I could have had that division there, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have it survive, and at least it's going to survive more than just blocking. It's like, would have been nice to take it off now, but I think there's more to be done there. Actually. There we go. I mean, this has been quite nice as well. At least we've been able to actually inhibit their supply here as well. So in reality, they're down to 1 hex here. They've got maybe 1 to 2 hexes. I suppose, like, yeah, 3 hexes here. But this is only 2 wide. So you take it by their narrowest point, which is over here. They've only got 1 here, 2 here, and then 1 in the south. So they're not going to be receiving too much in the way of supply. So they might lose a lot of vehicles actually trying to attempt this, which is quite nice. At least we have that going for us. It's all about being tenacious in the retreat. Save the knife mechanized. There we go. The axes have yard numbered actually to start, but you will get 200k men per turn, so it slowly swings in your favour. Yeah, that's true. Don't think these men, or these commands can be saved. So they're probably going to be disrupted, but at least they'll be able to get out of here. Now I do have these forces over here. I do need to form a defense, so we'll start doing that. I think frankly what we need to do is start to dig in somewhat as well, where we have the opportunity to do so. So I think over here, where we have this rough terrain is probably a good place to start. So I'll move a unit of infantry this way. Yeah, we have these divisions as well, that's fantastic. Okay, we'll use the forces under the command of the 19th Army. Now we're going to put the infantry to the front line. Okay. These units have no movement. Okay, so no movement there. No movement there. Okay. Right. They. That's very true. Right, your headquarters over here. What I'll do then is, let's see. I'll move you towards your destination. And we still need to move some reinforcements out here. Right, you're obviously not on a rail line, are you? So I'll put you on a rail line. I think what I'll do is send this as additional reinforcements. So at least at the end of the day, I will have sent some reinforcements. Yeah, this is it. Frankly, we need to be very aware. I'll have the airborne move down this way. At the end of the day, there's not a huge amount of them, but at least they do have the ability to be somewhat annoying. Which is worth its weight in gold. Yeah, I'll move forces onto the swamp over here in the time to come. Right. How does the mic sound, by the way, with the actual new pop shield on? Is it, like, better? Is it clearer? Can you tell the difference in any way? It's like, it's big. Yeah, like this big, looks pretty awesome to be fair. I'm really quite happy with it, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see here. I'm just going to quickly take a picture of the setup, and then you guys can see. I'm really quite happy with it. I'm really, really, like, pleased with it. I mean, the fantastic thing is like, you guys have helped me get this, and it's really nice to think that, yeah, only maybe like a day or two ago, I had like an awful microphone, and now I've got something that works. Really good. I love it. There we go. So, while we're here then, what do you guys think so far? The movements we've made is... Are they are they something that's going to be of use? I suppose this is it, isn't it? It's like we have to wait and see how the Axis will respond. But I guess it's going to really not have been in their plans to have had a pocket broken. Well, yeah, that is it, isn't it, really? It has been broken. Frankly, they can't move on with it so easily. So they are going to have to do something about it. So yep, I'm pretty happy about that. I think we don't have too many units left to actually move here. I think we've moved the vast majority of them for the most part. That's awesome. Right, so I'll just show you guys. Yep, so this is my microphone right here. So as you can see, the game in the background and the screen here with the chat, pretty awesome. My desk isn't that particularly tidy, but yeah, it's pretty massive. In my shock mount. There we go. Behind the scenes here, ladies and gentlemen, behind the scenes. There we go, move you over here. Yep, there we go. That's a better view. So as you can see the shock mount, you can see the boon. The boon's awesome. A couple of my books and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's like beforehand I had this gigantic circle in my face. I really couldn't see what I was doing for the most part. Some of the time it's like I'd like guess where keys were. And yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop going on about useless shit now. Right, back to the game. Okay, you can definitely move, but I want to keep you in that position there. I'm going to start to establish some positions on the other side of the river, I reckon. Yeah, on the approaches. That'd be a good idea. Where is your command? The 49th. It's over here, isn't it? Okay. What we'll do then is I'm going to move these forces over here. I want to try and close that land bridge. Yeah, there's nothing else particularly there that I can move. Okay, so for the most part, I think we're pretty much here, aren't we? I think this is pretty much all we can do. Get forts building on the Dnieper. I wish. I only have so many like administration points I've been given, so I don't want to push that. Okay, I'm going to move these additional reinforcements over here as well. I think things to the rear like this, then I'll move out. Okay, down 45,000 rail capacity. Right. I think we'll begin to fortify here. So we'll fortify this entrance. Yeah. Start working on that. Take this division, have it sent as reinforcements. I think the thing is like, we'll send what we can. Should command deem it necessary, they will obviously give me additional forces to work with. But I think we'll be able to delay the Axis for some time, so that'd be nice. It would be nice to start building forces in Dnieper, but we really need to focus on defending, like, just outside of Kiev, outside of Cherkasy, and outside of Odessa. At least that is going to slow them down. I'm going to start to begin to fortify these points over here in Crimea. It's not a major thing, but I suppose it would be worthwhile, as if they break through the Crimea, they then obviously have easier access to the Caucasus, which is obviously not good. So we want them to move towards our forces. Now I have this 157th Caucasus rifle. Yeah, it's like I have all these forces here. In the actual Caucasus. Yeah, a lot of these forces actually could be moved. So what I might do then is actually move some of these Caucasus forces over this way. Possibly. So I do have, let's see. So I can use a little bit more rail. So what I'll do then is I'll move these forces from the Caucasus. Yeah, we'll do that then. I mean, these mountaineering forces are really good. Okay. What I'll do then is I'll move them, I'd say. Or then again, do we move them towards the north? I'll move them towards the north. And then what we'll do then, should they be deemed unnecessary, then I'll obviously have them returned to me. I mean, this is it. It's like the real fight is going to take place outside of Moscow, not here. So I need to remember that. And at the end of the day, my teammates are going to be quite happy with me if I can move additional forces, aren't they? Okay. Move them on the other side of the river, not the headquarters zone. Right. Kharkov Air Command. Kharkov Military District. Okay, at least an element of your command actually survives. Okay, what we'll do here then. I'm playing with additional players, so these are different players. I'm playing, well, first and foremost is Marauder PL. I'll give a rough and ready list of who's in the game. There will be a AAR done after a couple times, so you'll be able to see the actual full players and who and where they are. But as far as I can tell, we have Zaha 00 or 00 as part of the Soviet team, Stuart as part of the Soviet team, Marauder PL as part of the Soviet team, Kanti part of the Soviet team, myself obviously, and then Otis is part of the Axis team, S2 Tanker part of the Axis, Sparkle Tits part of the Axis, and El Lobo Loco part of the Axis. Whether there's more, I do not know. Yes, this is a brand new series. It's only just starting today. Obviously, we'll continue with it as the turns come in. So, it's really exciting. We are going to be facing a completely different game. And somebody did say about the possibility of why not a Patreon play by email game. And I definitely will be doing those. And for those of you who are my patrons, you will be receiving your rewards in a short period of time. I've been informed by the actual producer, well, the items I'm having produced, that they should probably be ready by the weekend. Now, I'll probably have about 12. Now, considering I have 14 patrons, I may have to impose like a certain limit on like who receives one, so I think we might have to go with like pledges in advance of like $5 or $10 or something. It does depend, really. It's just, there's going to be... yeah, I might have to. I'm gonna have to think how to do it. I think there's only gonna be so many, so I want it to be where everybody who deserves one does get one. I'll figure that one out. But definitely, definitely there will be rewards for being a patron, which is going to be quite nice. I'm quite happy about that. Because frankly, I don't want you guys just to support me for, like, no bloody reason. It's nice to think that I can give you something, if that makes any sense. Okay, let's move our air commands over here. Right, yeah, these are all over the shop, aren't they? I'll allow my overall commander to move the airfields to where he thinks is best. Okay. So I think with that, we're pretty much done then. Obviously, our overall commander can make any adjustments as he deems necessary. But I think we've achieved here what we wanted to do, so I'm quite happy with that. And, yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. That's good for me. So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I hope you will continue to follow this series, as it does indeed develop. It will be very interesting to see what is going to happen next turn. But I suppose at least we've established points at which we are going to block Axis movement to some degree, as well as ideally choke their supply lines. Our forces will probably be butchered, but at least they'll last an additional turn. That's pretty much guaranteed. The thing is, they've actually got a open supply line, so they're going to be currently on probably, let's see here, are they going to be on Beachhead? Yeah, so, okay, so these guys aren't actually counted as cut off, which is rather interesting. You're counted as Beachhead supply, you're counted as cut off. So these units aren't technically cut off. Actually, let's see here. You can't really move to get out of that, so fuck it, I might as well move them deeper into their own territory here. Yeah, we'll do that. The only offensive move we've made here. I want to see another combat mission game from you along with Panzer Battles. Yeah, you know what, I'd like to go back and probably play some of the combat missions. I love Black Sea, so I might go back and play some Black Sea. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, John Tiller. I mean, the John Tiller games are rather interesting. It's just the fact of they need to update their UI. So I'm taking that then at least for the Soviets that are commanders of each front and then an overall commander indeed. So there is the northern Soviet commander, the center Soviet commander, and the southern Soviet commander, much like Army Group North, South, and yeah, you know what I mean. And then obviously there's an overall commander. We do have an intelligence officer as well, so basically somebody's role is to actually run the intelligence, but we'll see. I'd love to give you guys a full list. I should have had that, but there has been a few name changes, so we'll see how things go on. So yes, thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. If you have enjoyed this, please do consider supporting myself and the channel. You can do this through a number of ways, namely either by becoming a patron, where you will eventually receive a reward, once I have that all set up, or via PayPal, which is obviously really quite nice. It obviously has enabled me to buy some pretty nice kit. And this is it. This money doesn't just get spent willy-nilly, it actually gets spent on improving the channel, improving the actual experience I can give you guys. At the end of the day, I feel like I've done a terrible job if I've not been able to entertain you guys. And I don't just say that as a nothing, it generally is a bothersome to me if it doesn't. If I don't feel like I've done a good job, then yeah, I'm not happy. So, help to make me happy. To make you happy. Okay, see you later guys. Do go ahead and join me on the Discord if you'd like to chat. I'm always open to a chat. I'm quite easygoing. Until next time, goodbye for now. Have a fantastic evening or day, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Goodbye.